Most of us are used to AI answering our questions, but we're entering a phase where AI can actually do the work. Imagine a program that looks at a multi-step project, makes a plan, and keeps moving forward even when it hits a wall. To see the difference, think about the tools we have now. A standard chatbot is like an office reference manual. It's full of information, but it just sits on the shelf until you open it up and type a specific question. An AI assistant is more like a helpful coworker. You can ask it to help with a single task, like drafting an email, and it carries out that one instruction on command. But an AI agent functions like an autonomous intern. Instead of waiting for you to tell it every single step, you give it a goal, and it works toward that objective on its own. This represents a major shift in how we use computers. Let's look at a common scenario. A customer emails your support team because they want to upgrade their account, but their credit card keeps failing in your system. A human worker solves this by following a sequence. They read the email, check the account database, generate a payment link, and check with a manager to offer a small discount. A standard chatbot can't do this because it can't access outside software or ask for permission. To automate this kind of everyday work, we need a system that can mirror this human way of solving problems. This diagram shows the anatomy of an agent. It has a specific goal and a brain powered by an AI model. But importantly, that brain is connected to memory, company tools, and safety rules that keep it on track. AI pioneer Andrew Ng calls this the agentic design pattern. Think of it as a blueprint for a system that doesn't just process data, but actively uses it to achieve a result. This pattern works through a cycle called a react loop. It's short for reasoning and acting. It's a simple 4-step cycle. The agent observes the situation, plans its next move, takes an action, like clicking a button, and then evaluates if that action worked. This loop is what allows the agent to handle failure. If it tries to open a database and finds it's offline, it doesn't just stop. It observes the error, loops back to the planning stage, and decides to try an alternative path. Standard software acts like a train on a rigid set of tracks. If there's a rock on the rails, it stops. But an agent acts more like a driver in a car. It sees the obstacle, evaluates its options, and steers around it. That ability to adapt is the core of an agentic workflow. While traditional automation breaks the moment a single step fails, these workflows are built to navigate around missing information. You can think of the workflow as the office rules. It defines the coordinated steps and the data that the agent is allowed to use while it's working. Here's a workflow in action. The agent has decided to give our customer a $50 refund. But before that money is sent, it hits a guardrail. This is a safety rule that forces the agent to pause and send a request to a human manager for approval. Once the human manager sees the context and clicks approve, the barrier opens. The agent is then released to finish the job and update the customer. When a project is too big for one agent, we use a multi-agent system. This is like putting a team of specialized interns together, each with a different skill. One agent focuses entirely on research, another handles the billing, and a third writes the report. They hand off data to one another just like a human team would. Without these workflows, autonomous AI can be unpredictable. But with them, these systems become a reliable, manageable workforce. However, we have to be careful. Letting agents run without oversight is risky. They can make things up, leak private information, or get stuck in repetitive loops that waste expensive computing power. There is also a risk called error propagation. Think of it like a snowball effect. Because an agent makes a long string of connected decisions, one tiny mistake at the very beginning can grow into a much bigger problem by the time the job is finished. To stay safe, you must start small. Pick one narrow goal, limit which tools the agent can use, and always include a human approval step for anything important. If you treat an agent like a new employee, starting with small tasks and monitoring them closely, you can prevent a minor misunderstanding from turning into a major system failure. So, to summarize, a chatbot is a tool that gives you a text response. An AI agent is a system that takes independent actions to achieve a goal. An agentic workflow provides the rules and the human checkpoints to keep that agent safe. And a multi-agent system allows these specialized tools to work together as a team. These models have a massive capacity to reason and act, but it is the workflow that provides the structure needed to turn that capacity into work we can actually trust.